I'm Kylie Brice. Welcome to My Creative Heart. Today we're going to be talking with Anna, who is the founder and guru of Journeez. Anna is a qualified counsellor and trainer, and if you're familiar with Brené Brown's work, she's a certified Daring Way facilitator. So I'm really looking forward to talking about self-care and creativity.
Now I'm just desperate for sleep. I know that things are different now. These years won't last forever. How I long to embrace the now.
Anna, thanks for meeting me on this beautiful day.
No worries.
What you guys probably most likely can't tell is that we are lying on a hill underneath our umbrellas by a beautiful lake, but it is always a beautiful day to get out in nature.
Even when it's raining.
Now, I love the work that you do with Journeez. Are you able to tell us a little bit about what Journeez is?
Yeah, absolutely. So Journeez is a counselling and training organisation, and we help people to get to know themselves better through personal development and growth. So I work with individuals and also groups, and we work from the perspective of self-care concepts to help people work to understand, I guess, themselves socially, emotionally, physically and spiritually.
The sun has come out, so we're going to get rid of these umbrellas and show you this beautiful view that we have.
Let me find myself again.
Now, one of the areas that you specialise in is self-care. I know for me that creativity and music in particular have been really, really important for my self-care journey. Can you tell us a bit about what self-care and creativity have in common?
I'm not sure if it's about being in common, but more so how they actually work together and how you can't actually have creativity without self-care. You might be able to resonate with maybe sitting down, maybe at a piano with your guitar, blank page in front of you wanting to write something, and you're just like, it might be a couple things. I know what I want to write, but I feel stuck. Or actually, I don't know what I want to do, but I feel like I want to do some sort of creativity. And I think it's in those times that self-care is really, really important. Firstly, I wanted to share was actually what is self-care. People ask me all the time, what is self-care? Self-care is all about valuing yourself, I think. And one of my heroes, Lucille Zimmerman is her name. She has a really good definition, I think. And I'm actually just going to read it to you.
Yeah.
She says, self-care just means putting yourself on the list. It means valuing yourself enough to know that you need to spend time resting, setting boundaries, and engaging in activities that make you happy or make you feel cared for, and doing all of that without feeling guilty. That's pretty much what self-care is. The relationship is really important. I think from the definition of self-care it's important to value yourself. If you don't actually value yourself, then it's like you're not valuing the stuff that you're creating. So that's the first thing. Second thing is spending time resting. We need to do that so that we feel rejuvenated, so that then we can actually have the energy to be able to put into creating. And I know that's a huge thing too for creative people. Setting boundaries, oh my gosh. So I'm really passionate about setting boundaries, and I think that if we don't set boundaries, then we're letting other people steal our time. And so it's really important that we know what it is that is important to us, and if creating is important to us, we need to learn to say yes and no to the right things. And I would say the last thing is, from the definition of self-care, is making sure that we're doing things that bring us joy, make us feel happy. So for you, that might be creating. Absolutely. It could also be a whole range of other things as well.
In Lucille's definition of self-care, she talks about doing it without feeling guilty. Now, that's the part that I struggle with. So have you got any tips on how you can be creative or make time for creativity without the guilt?
Well, firstly, it's not easy. That is the biggest thing. If anybody ever tells you, here's 3 steps to making, life easier and you don't feel guilty about certain things, don't believe them because they're lying. The other important thing is to remember that it's a practice. Implementing self-care is a daily practice, and we stuff up, we come back and we get better and we try it again. And so, you really just have to do it. And as you continue to do that, you get it. I don't know if it gets easier, but I do think that you can become more comfortable with the decisions that you're making.
Have you got any other self-care tips for creative people?
Absolutely. So I think I've got 4. Okay, so the first one is you have to make space and time. You can't do self-care without making the space. So I always say block out time in your diary to make that happen. Number 2 is know where creativity sits in line with your values. Is it something that's really, really important, or is it something that is just like, I like doing it, but if I don't get to do it, oh well. If it's really important, it makes setting boundaries and things like that so much easier. Number 3 is you need to be kind to yourself, especially when you're in that state of being stuck and feeling like, now I've got nothing to give, or I'm hopeless because I can't put something down on paper, or I haven't created in so long. It's about being kind to yourself, because in that time it's actually a process to go, actually in that stuck moment, something amazing will come of it if we can have self-compassion for ourselves.
Yeah.
And the 4th one is go. You just have to give it a go, and because you can't just say, I'm going to look after myself while I create, and then not actually do it. Okay, so it's, as I said before, it's a practice. So you need to continue to actually just do it. So go.
If you would like to connect with Anna, you can on Facebook or on Instagram. And if you would like to check out what events she has coming up and her services, you can go to her website, which is
www.journeez.com.au.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time again.
No worries, thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of My Creative Heart. I'd love to know, how do you practice self-care? How do you make time for creativity without feeling guilty? Please share with me in the comments below, because life is so much better with a splash of creativity.
Let me